Well, salutations from Dead Horse Point State Park, still in Utah.
Yep.
In fact, we're really just across the road from where we just left, which was
Canyonlands.
Right over my head's the link to that video. We pulled in here pretty late last night, so not too much footage. And then we got a little bit later start than what we're used to.
Yes.
It's Alana's birthday today. Wish her a happy birthday in the comments below. And we just decided let's have a real nice breakfast before we kick off and take in what's going to be a pretty lengthy hike.
Yes.
We're actually going to do a major loop and kind of a star all the way around. It should touch off on almost all of the trails that you have here, other than the hiking trails, with some pretty epic views. Or
other than the mountain
biking trails, with some pretty epic
Yes.
views. So we are looking forward to it. Hopefully you are as well.
Dead Horse Point State Park is a nice destination on its own, but its location beside Canyonlands and near Arches National Parks makes it a great base camp for an extended stay, especially given reservable campsites in the area can be challenging to obtain. The cost to stay here is a bit more, but we found the amenities and facilities worth it. The 2-night stay we booked offered a full day of exploring that we were able to start without breaking camp, thanks to a trail connector just a few campsites from ours. Our hiking apps indicated our planned hike would add up to at least 8.5 miles, but we regularly end up with more than what's listed.
Well, here you go, Big Horn Overlook.
Yep.
This is the furthest out from the loop that we'll be doing. Off of the loop, it's 1 1/4 out to this point. It would be 1 1/4 back to the loop. All the other ones are much smaller.
Yeah.
This is the furthest one out, but well worth it.
Very nice.
Yep, back to the loop.
Beyond the amazing views of the overlook, we were captivated by the potholes, some full of water, some ice, and some empty. This may seem boring, but the shapes of the rock and ice really were interesting. From Bighorn Overlook, we continued making right at every junction, of which the next would be Rim Overlook. The views from here and all West Loop overlooks are over Canyonlands National Park. While they don't change that much, they somehow seem to be completely different at the same time. We know this sounds funny, but there was something about the subtle differences in detail that made each unique.
It's daylight.
As we continued south along the West Rim Loop, the Colorado River really comes into view just before the Meander Overlook, as do some trailside kiosks and signs with additional information about the area. It's at one of these signs that we found a discrepancy in the reason for the park's name. According to the park website, there are many stories, but the main one is from the turn of the last century when cowboys used the narrow neck, which is only 30 yards wide, to corral wild mustangs on the point. They then fenced off the neck with branches and brush. cowboys then chose the horses they wanted and let the others go free. However, one time the horses were left corralled on the waterless point, where they died of thirst within view of the Colorado River, 2,000 feet below. Yet a trailside sign stated a less morbid reason. It is that the canyon below is shaped like a horse lying down when viewed from high above. This more simple and pleasant reason is what we are going with.
Well, we have made it to Dead Horse Point, which is where the loop trail transitions from the west, which we've been on, to the east. So now we're going to be heading back north on the east rim, back towards our campsite.
We are really thankful we started with the West Rim Trail because the views, and more importantly the trail, from the east didn't compare. That's not to say it was bad or unpleasant by any means, but if you are pressed for time, you could skip this section and not miss much. I wanted to have a campfire to celebrate my birthday, and the trail conveniently goes by the visitor center, which sells campfire wood among all your other typical gift store stuff. Jay was more than willing to put in the extra effort to carry the bundle of wood the rest of the trail to camp instead of packing up the truck to drive there, and I greatly appreciated it.
Happy birthday. Hey, 30,000 steps.
Nice!
Right there. Well, that was a very fun hike.
Yes.
Actually, when it comes to hikes, it touched on every dedicated hiking trail in the park. So
Yes.
we have seen it all,
Yep.
done it all, and we are on to Arches National Park next week. Hopefully you enjoyed this week's video. Feels like it's probably going to be a little bit shorter. I don't know. Anyway, subscribe, follow along, and we will see you at Arches next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Alana wanted crispy fried potatoes and steak for her birthday, so let's hope it works.